The Midnight Family, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tyrone, Stephen Harvey, what's good? Fabian, what's going on? Travis Allen in the building. Dwayne Tunnel, what's going on? Steve's in the house. The Midnight Family, everybody say hello. What's the word on the street? We're talking many of the words on the street today. Albert C. Carterholic, Jonathan. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Two stepping in the house. That's good stuff. Got the alert. Ooh, got the alert game sharpened up. You get the notification. Johnson, don't get used to the new time. But some people seem to enjoy a little bit of an earlier start. So yeah, I guess we get a little closer to basketball season. I don't mind kicking it off a little early every once in a while. But if y'all are going to enjoy the start time, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure you hit the notification button. And if you feel like sharing the show, feel free. Inspire me to start at 10:30. Make it a benefit. Because every time we start early, we do have a lot of night shift people that like to watch it live. And now the night shift people got to catch some replay. So if you like the earlier starts, make sure you make it worth it. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wait, what? Host the Rutherford show. He came for me and said, I'm sending my trolls after. Shit. Tammy Red's in the building. I don't do trolls. I block trolls. I don't send trolls to nobody. You think I got time to care about what anybody else doing? 10:30 to 1:30. D Wall Beats in the house. Dwayne, what's good? What's good? Yeah, I got no time for trolling. Don't worry about that shit. Uh-huh. We're gonna let's get a little warm up in here. Let's get a little warm up. A little feel good second. Hold on. Let me clean this up real quick. Clean this up. Get a little pause right here. Let me work my magic a little bit. Mr. Bear, what's good? Wait a minute. Where's Lauren at? KP for president, governor, mayor, football coach, all of that. Ooh, he is inspirational. 9 days till Cardinal Christmas, Louisville Live. Good evening, Lauren. Good evening. Lauren's in the building. Lauren likes the early start time too, because she actually be defending the territory, y'all. So this is work for Lauren. She like, yes, start early. Yes, start. Tammy Red, I did see you up there. Tammy Red, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I didn't mean to skip over you if I did. Hold on. Let's do a little quick warm up. Boom, 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 boom. Woo.
Yes, the roughing the passer penalties have been a hot topic early this season. There's been some questionable ones called. How do you look at that in the protection of quarterbacks? And you're never a guy that kind of looks at the ref and throws your hands up looking for a flag. Well, why is that?
I'm about to start. We been needing some penalties too now on our side, man. But if they see it, just hopefully they make the call. That's all I can say. I'm gonna play football, but I'm gonna start throwing my hands up too. No hard finish to the refs out there though, but we need some calls. We need some calls.
Yes,
one more time, y'all.
Have been a hot topic early this season. There's been some questionable ones called. How do you look at that in the protection of quarterbacks? And you're never a guy that kind of looks at the ref and throws your hands up looking for a flag. Well, why is that?
I'm about to start. We been needing some penalties too now on our side, man. But if they see it, just hopefully they make the call. That's all I can say. I'm gonna play football, but I'm gonna start throwing my hands up too. No hard feelings to the rest out there though, but we need some calls. We need some calls.
Yes, the roughing the passer penalties have been a hot topic.
That's pretty funny. Uh, Latroy, let's have a quick sip. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Appreciate that. Just catching on up, Red State. I wonder who sends all of those trolls up here calling Lauren to break out the ninja skill. I know. You like the look, Isaiah likes the time slot too. So y'all was really hanging out, staying up, waiting for me to get the show started. Now I feel like crap. Yes, he's getting better at being openly petty, and then at the end of it saying, yeah, but football's still first. Oh, I didn't hear that part much either. You like the early starts? So some of y'all like the early starts. Like I said, if y'all hit that like button, make sure you hit the subscribe, the notification. Hype for Louisville Live. Got the tickets earlier today. It's good stuff. Good vibes. Okay, y'all. I mean, y'all want to go to ACC Media Day? You want to hear Kenny Payne? Or y'all want to talk about drama? Because I mean, we can talk drama. We can talk Kenny Payne. We can bring him right up. I don't know how good the sound is, so y'all might have to turn up a little bit of volume in your world. Y'all might have to turn up the volume a little bit, but I'll do my best to keep it up.
If you do have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get our sticks your way, and we ask that you please.
How is that volume, y'all?
The agency that you're with.
Kelly Bird, what's good?
Started. Do we have our first question coming from the room? Seeing none, we'll open it up here at the podium. Coach, welcome to the league, I guess officially full-time now. Thoughts about how it is that you are setting the culture for your program moving forward?
I think one of the things that is vital for me to establish right away is my own personal culture, a culture that's built on success for young people. It's easy to talk about wins and losses. That's not the real issue that these young people need to be hearing. I need a culture that's built on work ethic, that's built on character, that's built on guys that are overcoming barriers, development within themselves, both on the court and off the court. If I establish that, in my mind, I've succeeded without ever talking about a win or a loss.
We'll go to the very back to your left.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Kenny, what's it like to accept this job at your alma mater? And, that must be an enormous accomplishment for you and must come with a lot of pressure as well.
You're right on both. The obligation that I feel for my school and the pressure to make everybody happy, it never goes away. Before I go to sleep at night, I'm thinking about it. How do I please all this whole community, this whole city, the whole state of Kentucky, and also please these kids and their parents? That's the job that I've been given. I took the job simply because of that. I took the job because there was a disconnect. A disconnect.
Appreciate it, Kelly.
A disconnect between former players, a disconnect between these kids. If I can help in that in any shape, form, or fashion, and be a vessel to connect these people and to make them all proud. It's not about me, it's about them. So it never goes away.
Sydney, a question from the podium here. If Coach speaks to the idea of trying to bring together community, to try to get things in a different place, He's obviously dedicated himself to the community. What are you doing to dedicate yourself back to him?
Just, coming in every day, working hard for coach, so he pushes us every day. So just coming in, working hard every day, just trying to get better for the team.
El, you got a chance to go to Hawaii to play a little basketball. Have you ever been to Hawaii before?
No, I've never been to Hawaii.
So what is it that you're looking forward to most about that trip?
Man, just getting out there and going to compete. That's getting out of the country, something I haven't really done in my life. Just being able to go out there and have fun and compete. It's gonna be fun.
Thank you. Questions from the room for Louisville? We'll bring it right here to your right, about the fourth row.
Kevin Young from the three-point conversion. Coach, can you talk a little bit about your coaching staff as far as getting Danny Manning, also Nolan Smith, who are both champions? Can you talk a little bit about them and how you went on about that process of getting them?
My man was
Great
nervous.
question. To go back a little further, when I got
I want that on there again.
We'll bring it right here to your right, about the fourth row.
Kevin Young from the three-point conversion. Coach, can you talk a little bit about your coaching staff as far as getting Danny Manning, also Nolan Smith, who are both champions? Can you talk a little bit about them and how you went on about that process of getting them?
Great question. To go back a little further, when I got the job, I think I had 3,000 people hit me about working for me or being a part of the staff.
$3,000 people instantly hit him up. 3,000 people immediately hit him up. 3,000 people hit him up. Hi, Moms Kelly. What you doing, girl? 3,000 people.
For me or being a part of the staff. I think I had 3,000 people hit me about working for me or being a part of the staff. And as I went through it mentally, how in the world do you digest so many coaches from all facets of life, every level, NBA, college, high school, AAU? How do you digest all of that? And one thing kept sticking with me that Larry Brown said to me. The obligation of a coach is to love the people that he's coaching. And so my number one criteria, I knew I was hiring guys that were uniquely qualified for the job. I wanted guys that have won championships, that were winners. I wanted guys that could give their life to young people. But more importantly than the X's and O's and the knowledge of the game and the experience that a Nolan Smith has had, or a Danny Manning, or even a Josh Jameson, a Milt Wagner, a Reese Gaines, I wanted them to, number one thing, you have to love kids to work for them. You gotta love them. And then after you love them, really important, you have to adopt
Fucking
their
Steve
dreams.
Forbes.
Adopt them. Don't assume because a kid tells you out of trust, I want to be a great NBA player. Don't say that he can't do it. You adopt his dream and you give him
Adopt his
what he
dream.
needs to make that dream come true. If he falls short, that's on him. We gave 110% together. That's sort of how I went about picking the staff. And I went public and said this. I believe that I have the most unique staff in the history of the college game. That does not mean we're going to win games right off the bat. That means each one of these coaches have a unique experience that they can share with young people to help them reach their goals and dreams. To me, that's a win-win.
Sydney, from here at the podium, your teammate up on stage is the returning leading scorer at 8.7 points per game. Who else is going to score? It's a devil's advocate question. Who else is going to bring the heat, fill the hoop this season to complement his season average?
I think Jalen Withers brings a lot to the team. Bradley Hatfield. We have a lot of guys that brings a lot to the team besides scoring and other things they can do on the court. So I feel like we have a lot of guys that can contribute to the team.
Jalen Withers was the first name.
Questions for Louisville from the floor? Coach, you've got 7 players who are at least 6'8" and taller. In time, are we going to see more than 7 players at that height? I guess, what's your recruiting strategy and what's going to be that game style that matches up to such height?
Recruiting strategy is I need high-end talent that has a high-end character. I need givers. I don't need takers. I need guys that, whether they know it or not,
Y'all hear
they
it.
bring something to their team regardless of if they can really explain what they're bringing. For example, I go watch a player play, and I watch how the other 4 players relate to him, and I watch how he relates to those other 4 players.
Givers.
If there's a positive energy there, I want that player. I want a player that instinctively can make a pass and take joy when that guy he passed it to scores. I want a guy that can post up, can shoot a 3, can shoot a mid-range, can make layups, can pass the ball, that can rebound the ball above the rim, can run the lane, can push the ball. I want complete, versatile basketball players that have a unique ability to fight for what they want and that are dream chasers. I'm not really looking for the good player that isn't willing to fight for his dream, who assumes it's just going to happen. That's delusional. I can't help that kid. I can only help the ones that are realistic about what they want in life. And those are the kids that I want to recruit. I hope I have a bunch of 7-foot guys that can play the point, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5.
I think you have the most unique staff in the country. You have the most unique roster in the country.
Yes, I have a good
That
roster.
was the case. Other questions for Louisville? We've got about 5 minutes left with the Cardinals. Again, from the podium, both of our student athletes, I'd like you to answer this. Coach talks about being the dream chasers. Sydney, you first. What's your dream?
My dream is to make it to the NBA and take care of my family. And I feel like coach is doing a good job of pushing me every day and to reach my goals.
I would say, of course, going to the NBA, having a great career, but most important, taking care of my family. I have a family that's dependent on me, and that pushes me every day to work hard and achieve my goals.
Other questions for Louisville from the floor? Coach, in the game notes, or at least in the profile notes heading into the season, it speaks to the Cardinals being one of the most highly profiled programs when it comes to television. That Louisville has been on television a great deal over the last couple of decades. What does that TV exposure do for what it is you're trying to bring in as being part of your program?
It shines a light. It shines a light on what Louisville basketball is. You can't hide. If every night or every game is pretty much on TV, the world is watching. What are they seeing? Are they seeing guys that are disjointed? Are they seeing guys that are together? Are they seeing guys that regardless of if they win or lose, they're fighting? Or are they watching guys let go of the rope? What are they watching? Are they seeing coaches that have the ability to touch a player, which is a form of love, and a player touch a coach? When a timeout happens or a referee blows a whistle, I want players coming to me and putting their arms around me, and I want to put my arms around them and say, what do you see? I want the world to see that. I want the world to see that even in the face of losing games, that you don't give up on what you're trying to accomplish, that you don't blame. in the form of winning games. I want them to see we stay the same. Every single day we are hungry and we're humble.
I think that's a great way. See, there we go. So one last question. We're getting ready to send you guys out the door. So
Oh,
to the left,
God.
second row at the end. Better late than never.
Gene Gallen with the Chatham Journal. Coach, how do you incorporate your experience as a player both at the college level and at the NBA level when you're talking to your players? Do you give examples, or what's your method of taking that experience and bringing in as a head coach of Louisville?
Great question. Real simple. I can be delusional and be selfish and say, guys, you're playing basketball. It's just a game. That's not reality. These young men right here, you heard them say it, it's bigger than them. They are fighting for their lives. I got a bunch of kids that are on my team that are fighting for their lives. What experience is to tell them that they are fighting for their lives. Delusional is, it's just a game. You don't really have to go to class. You don't really have to pour 150% in. That's not reality. Reality is whatever happens from 18 to 23 is going to last these young men for the rest of their lives. Don't live with regret. Pour 150% in, and whatever happens, you can live with. But if you pour 75% in and your life doesn't turn out the way you're going to live with that pain.
Y'all listen to him?
So my experience, I've been real close to that line of living with that pain. And by the grace of God, I'm sitting here and I've been able to help people because I put them first.
Y'all hear
And
this?
I want them to know that I care, I love them, and I'm coaching them out of love. There has to be a fear of failure to know exactly what you're facing in this world. Because when it's over, this college thing is over, this gets real, real.
And that's a good note to leave on. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Louisville. Thank you, and have a great season.
Thank you.
Steve Forbes? Steve Forbes? Sitting around trying to say that Kenny Payne struck out on a guard? Ha ha, we have no guards. He left the New York Knicks to come here. He was the highest paid assistant coach in the NBA to come here out of his obligation to unify Louisville with the city, the state, the players, all that. It's not about Marcus and it's not about personal anything. He's the perfect coach for the situation. I don't benefit personally out of Kenny Payne being here, other than I know the right guy to be coaching the kids is in place. I'm not going to be doing the Kenny Payne show. I'm not going to be doing anything. And I'm just tired of people who are just jockeying for their positions, deciding whether they like or hate a coach based on what they can get out of it. That's what gets on my nerves. Just too much jockeying on just too much jockeying for position. Oh, well, this coach, I have more guys that can get me inside information. It gets on my nerves. If you live like that, I'm not mad at you. But understand that that kind of stuff gets on my nerves when I know we have the opportunity of one of the best of the best of the best, an opportunity for this guy to coach your program. who's from the program, understands every aspect of the program, doesn't take long to identify what the program needs from him. He's already had, in 5 months, he has the biggest, most talented recruiting roster. Okay, who gives a fuck if he doesn't land all these 5 stars? Anybody who sees college sports, anybody who's watched college sports for the last 20 years, they know any successful campaign starts with the first couple years of getting a whole bunch of 5 stars on your campus. And then your program, 5 stars, start competing with 5 stars for the scholarship. Coaches who start telling you that I look for what I want. I can make 5 stars. I look for 5 stars that are givers. I look for 3 stars that are givers. I'm going to surround my team with people who are giving to the program more than they're taking away. That's why Kenny Payne tells you the NIL. Nobody likes pro athletes around here. And then when Kenny Payne says, I'm not going to treat this like a pro franchise, you get these fuckholes who want to start like, what is he doing? If the point guard wants $2 million, just pay him $2 million. What are you doing? Coming from a bunch of people who don't like pro sports, don't like pro athletes because they don't like the attitude of takers. Preaching his gospel of only 3,000 people want to be on his staff. He gives you Danny Manning, Nolan Smith, Josh Jameson, Stephanie Davis, fucking Justin Perez. Just gives you everything. And passion. I don't know what that is, Fabian. That came out. That just came out. It just fucking gets on my nerves. But that's why the show today. Okay, y'all. I want to talk for a few minutes. I want y'all to listen to me for a few minutes. I won't keep y'all up all night, but I want y'all to listen. I got some things to say. Take a second. Hold on. I don't even know what to put up here. Can I put something on the screen for y'all for I sent it to myself. Okay. Y'all can do this. Y'all can watch this video. Just stay here really quick. I'm gonna go to the kitchen. Watch this video and I will be right back. It's just a 1-minute video. Share. Just sit here, sit tight. Sit here, sit tight. Sit here, sit tight. Okay, that's the stuff I sent to myself. That's there. That's there. Okay, sit here. I'll be right back, y'all. Okay. You can't get away with playing. You can't get away with listening to Drake on YouTube. Yes, you can't do that. We all know that. Did somebody get sniped? Did somebody get sniped? Wait a minute, what happened? Wait a minute, did somebody get popped? Did somebody get popped? Tammy Red, hold on. Hold on. Did somebody get piped? Well, okay. Okay. Here's why. I did enjoy having that on my ears. Okay. If you at the end of it, if y'all want to go back to the radio version of Kenny Payne when he was on there, we'll go back to the hour that he was on with Drew and Jody and all that stuff. If y'all want to do that. But here's the thing. I don't worry about people getting mad at me like in the media because they know I'm telling the truth. They all know that if they're being fair and not putting their own careers over what's good for the program, who the fuck is Carlos? Who the fuck is Carlos? Drinking the Kool-Aid. Who the fuck is Carlos? Do any of y'all know who Carlos is? Drinking the Kool-Aid? So does Carlos not realize like all of the work that Kenny Payne has put in at Oregon, Kentucky, or New York? Okay, does Carlos not think that a top 5, top 10 all-time college player is a good addition to the staff? Does he realize that Nolan Smith is one of the top 10 up-and-coming young coaches, and just so happens that his father played for Louisville. His father is one of the most beloved, tough players to ever put on a Louisville jersey. I mean, if you can't make a staff for your university, you couldn't fucking create a player staff to make a better staff. The fuck does Carlos know? Who is Carlos? And what does he know about anything? Beyond blessed. We are beyond blessed. Who the fuck are you, Carlos? Late February, Kenny Payne is talking about program building. Are you insinuating that if he doesn't turn around a 12-win team in one summer, or are you scared that he can turn it around? And if he doesn't, like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Even Padgett and Mac had full roster. I like this. What the fuck? And what the fuck do you know? Other than coming into this page, into the Midnight Family Room, talking about people are Kool-Aid drinkers, because people are smart enough to know that Kenny Payne is great at developing kids. He has great relationships. Kenny Payne obviously cares about the demeanor of the kids. And see, that's a fucking idiot. That's an asshole idiot. Somebody will tell you and will show you 3,000 people called me about this job. I picked the people that were champions, and I picked the people who will adopt these kids' dreams. When asked about the players he wants, I want to bring in players who are givers and not takers. And he told you, this may not instantly compute to wins and losses, but I know the kind of people that I'm going to bring in my program. And what fucking asshole would call that Kool-Aid? Somebody who hates their upbringing. Only somebody who hates their upbringing or hates what they see in the mirror. Or, like Kenny Payne said, you're living with regrets because you didn't give 150%, Carlos. You're living with the regrets Kenny Payne is talking about. You're scared that Kenny Payne is going to get the full potential out of the kids that he coaches. You're living with regrets. That's why you come in this fucking chat room, this midnight room, this YouTube channel, and say, all y'all can be in here drinking the Kool-Aid, but we'll see in February. What the fuck you gonna see in February? A team that's still playing hard. A team of givers and not takers. And rebuilding the culture. You are the regret guy, Carlos. He was talking about you. Kenny Payne was talking about you. Is the word out that ESTG is coming? Has that already been announced? Oh my God, did I just say that out loud? Oh my God, I'm drunk. Oh shit, did I just say that out loud? Hey, y'all. What did Sam say? Right, I'm curious too. Hour or two about midway through. What are we talking about? I'm excited for the program more than the season. Yeah, just what are you doing? Like what's your point? That's fair enough. Yeah, Carlos, like what the fuck do you know? What's the other thing? Stevia? And he said he treats all his kids like they scholarships. So be ready to go in the game. But yeah, I was a mixed flavor Kool-Aid kid too. Yeah, I mixed them always. I'm excited about Louisville Live. Right. Hold on. $5 a cup, the little popsicle kind of thing. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what Carlos is doing. Flavor Aid. Jesus Christ. You know what Carlos gets, y'all? Yeah, because that Carlos is the perfect example of the chair of shame. Carlos is the perfect example. Yeah, we're doing the interviews. Welcome, Mr. Crump. Welcome. Listen, I might be late getting to you, or you might be getting late here. The chair of shame is designed for people like Carlos. The chair of shame. Listen, let me tell y'all a quick story. Hold on. I'll bring it off the chair of shame. let me tell y'all what happened today. Let me tell y'all what happened. You know what? I'll use her name. It was Secretary. I was talking to Secretary today, right? And I've been telling Secretary lately, I said, hey, listen, Secretary. Okay, Secretary talks to me about her relationship issues, okay? I said, Secretary, every time he tells you something he wants to do, all you do is make a list of reasons it won't work. I said, Secretary, that's not helping. You know, you can point out pros and cons, but if it's something you don't want him to do, you come up with all 20 cons. I said, Secretary, you're an expert at coming up with reasons that he won't succeed. But when it's something you want him to do, you don't point out any reason that he might fail. So I was having this conversation with Secretary, right? And okay, sit that conversation here to the side, right? So today, I didn't know what I wanted to eat, right? I didn't know what I wanted to eat. Hold on, let me see. Okay. I want y'all to see this really quick. Okay. What that is bell peppers. Bell peppers kind of in a stew meat, okay? Okay. I like beef and broccoli with rice. And I wanted to add some kick to it. So I put bell peppers. So I get a beef and broccoli over rice, and I added some bell peppers, right? And she says, well, why didn't you just get the bell pepper, sauce or paste, right? I said no, because I wanted to chop up some regular, bell peppers, right? And she said, well, how much, how much is something, right? I was like, no, I got 2 organic bell peppers because I wanted to add that, and bell peppers, I was looking at the health benefits and all that. So I said, no, so I added 2 organic bell peppers to my food, right? And she says, well, how do you know they're actually organic? I mean, they might say organic, but they're not organic. I said, listen to you. Listen to you. I just told you that I chose the healthier option. I paid $1 more to get the organic bell peppers. And I said, all that could come to your mind was it doesn't even matter that I got the organic bell peppers because I can't prove that the bell peppers came from an organic grow farm in Guatemala or something. And I'm like, who the fuck wants to listen to you? Nobody wants to listen to you. Carlos, you sound like Secretary. Who wants to listen to you? Who wants to listen to you come up with, even if it sounds great, hey, he got a great staff, he got this, he got great this, he got players that believe in him, he got all this. Hey, but in February, if he loses, shut the fuck up. Nobody ever wants to listen to you. Carlos, your girl hates you. Your woman hates you. Everybody around you hates you. Whoever you are, Carlos, wherever you are, if you felt like I could tell you coming into this chat room and typing that, everybody hates you. Lauren, she had to come. Listen, she's not as bad as Carlos, but I was trying to, counterfeit organic peppers was what came to her mind. Counterfeit organic bell peppers is what she thought to tell me. When I'm saying I'm trying to add a healthy item to my food. Now put that 10 times over, and that's Carlos. Yeah, he got a good staff theoretically, and he got some talent on the team theoretically, and everything, and he's turning away kids who are selfish. Imani Bates in trouble. Dior Johnson in trouble. Those are the same dudes that they said he missed on. We heard the gossip that he didn't give them what they wanted. Now we fast forward to media day and he says, I don't want takers. And I'm not accusing those kids of being takers, but judging by what they've done already, they would probably go in the category of takers. Dior Johnson left Oregon at the last minute because a kid came back to school. He left Oregon because a guy who was already on the team came back to school. He transferred to Pittsburgh and has got in trouble. I don't have to go through the Imani Bates situation. But all the situations say taker. Kenny Payne explained to you that I'm like last time he talked, I'm not talking about NIL in the opening conversations with my recruits. And people who want Kenny Payne to fail found a negative in Kenny Payne not talking about NIL because he doesn't want takers. Anybody who can't see that, the benefit, you don't want the best for the university. You want what's best for you. And it's becoming obvious day by day by day. Who just doesn't want to see Kenny Payne coaching this team? Who doesn't want to see a successful program? Who wants to see drama? Who's a fucking secretive Carlos? The queens are all in the building. KP, yeah, right. I don't want KP to work guys too hard because I don't want him to get injured. Well, thank you, Secretary. Thank you for telling me that even if I buy organic peppers, I don't know the farm they actually came from, so I might as well not even buy organic peppers. Well, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear as I'm on my journey to try to get healthier. And y'all, I'm not mad at Blake and Baker, but that train is never late. That train that Blake and Baker hit me with today is never late. I don't like the coach, so I'm going to do I just have higher expectations. No, you don't. No, you don't. The reason I know that is because you've never seen a recruiting class like this ever. So that even that high expectation thing doesn't work anymore. If he accomplished something that you've never seen at Louisville, as far as his list of guys coming on campus, your high expect. So you're telling me that you have the expectations of. So you eliminated the cloud. Kenny Payne got hired, and you decided there's no more cloud, there's no more probation, there's no more difficulties for Kenny Payne to recruit, and he still is bringing in the top roster of talent that Louisville's ever seen. That's a lie. You're not holding him. You're not holding him to traditional Louisville standards. You just made a new standard for him. You made a new standard under a probationary cloud and a possible tournament ban. You set a standard that has never been this high in history. That's a lie. Like I said, I'm not mad at him, but that's a lie. That's a lie. Or you can admit that, yes, I set a standard and almost unreachable standard. You know what? Ironically, Kenny Payne set an unreachable standard for the kids. So Blank set an unreachable standard for Kenny Payne. You know what? Now that I realize that's what Blankenbaker was doing. Cheers, Mark Blankenbaker. You're setting an unreachable standard for Kenny Payne and his recruiting. Fair enough. Cheers, everybody. Everybody cheers to Mark Blankenbaker and the unreachable standard. Kenny Payne ain't put one team on tape. Ain't put one team on tape. That was the best point guard in the country that he didn't get over Texas. Texas, do y'all realize Texas and their ESPN Nike money is moving to the SEC? Which means there are big things in play at Texas. Texas was taking players from Kentucky even when Kenny Payne was there. That's pretty funny. Let me read this out loud. Hello, Midnight Family. If you're not busy, next Sunday, October 23rd, I'm playing a benefit concert for Jacob's Well. It's at Mom's Music, Melwood. There will be 3 food trucks and a full bar on site. And we all love full bars. Am I gonna be the emotional one? I mean, but listen to y'all, like, listen to what I'm saying. Like, tell me when what I'm saying is an exaggeration or not true. Tell me that y'all don't recognize that the standards got changed to something that's never been seen before. You've never had 7 5-stars on campus simultaneously. That never happens. You know where the goalpost moved? I don't fucking care if you don't sign them. It used to be the idea of having multiple 5-stars on campus used to be euphoria. Now you don't get credit for that. Oh, well, I just got higher expectations. You've never had expectations of 7 5-stars on a University of Louisville campus. Never. We got one late 5-star and we fucking went crazy. And you know what his name was? Brian Bowen. Brian Bowen was a late 5-star. I got to link up with Al J's. That's what I'm saying. It's never happened. I know. I gotta make sure. Here's the thing. It's either gonna be Al J's or one other spot. Al J's is gonna get the first right of refusal. Galthouse is gonna get first right of. No, he wasn't held to that standard. The video, the basketball video, or the Kenny Payne? What up? What up? Oh, 5 fingers, 1 fist. If y'all want to do that real quick, was that Diener's second hour? Was that Diener's second hour? Because we can cut a quick 8 minutes. We can do another 8 minutes. If y'all can handle it. If y'all can handle 8 real minutes. Hold on. It's when Louis, Diener. Kenny Payne is live on ESPN Louisville. It had to be hour 2. I agree with that. Okay, that was Stillman. This might be quick, y'all. Hold on. I think I got it already, y'all. Okay, if y'all are still here, listen. God, I'm so mad at Sean East. Hey, y'all. Sean East, I'm never going to forgive him. I had no idea his son was a recruitable point guard. I knew the name, but he was in Indiana, and I had no idea. Sean, I'm never going to forgive you. I didn't know that was your kid. Shucks. Sean East, I'm never going to forgive you. Thanks for coming in the Midnight Show. I'm never going to forgive you. Hey, y'all, his kid was the point guard over with Romeo Langford. I didn't even realize who he was. I would have been sure at the very least he had a high basketball IQ. I didn't know that. And I never got a chance to tell you. I remember somebody was like, hey, Romeo Langford, but if you don't get him, the Sean East kid. And I kind of laughed because I heard that name. And I'm like, well, I don't want to recruit him if he's just a dude that's playing on Romeo Langford team. I didn't know that was your kid. Gosh. I did start early so y'all can hang out with me a little extra. Sean, I'm glad I finally got to clean this up with you. Yeah, I was going to feel terrible forever if I didn't get a chance to bark at you about that. I didn't know that. Okay, y'all, here we go. Share.
You had some things that you knew were going to happen, some things you had to take care of, and you were pretty pleased about it. Now here we are on October 12th. You're at Media Day. Before we look to the season, are you happy with what has taken place from the time you were hired until now? That's putting a staff together, getting a roster put together, so many things that you've done, Coach. Are you happy and pleased with what you've done?
Very pleased, somewhat happy. I always think there's more that could be done. But I think that we've done a good job of getting to this point. I wish it could be a little faster, meaning that I guess a little slower. So if I was in the middle of July right now today, I would be ecstatic. Just as far as
Yes, he's telling
what
you.
we've accomplished to get to this point,
I had
I
to
wish
change
we
their
had
whole
did this
attitude.
July, August.
There's so many things to take care of, is there not?
Fuck yeah,
And
they
as
do,
a guy
Jocelyn.
who had never been a head coach, what was the couple things that, I don't want to say pitfalls, but the couple things
Great
that
job,
surprised
Jody.
you?
Well, number one is you have to take care of the main source of why you're here, and that's the players. So for me, the first thing that I have to do is what's best for these kids, what's best for them, for what they're trying to accomplish. And it starts with, we're not ready for an opponent until we can conquer ourselves. Getting them to feel good about their work, getting them to understand I'm pushing them to be better than they've ever been in their lives. And then once I get them to that point, which is an everyday, all-day deal, then I get to talk to them about what it means to be a team, what it means to be a unit, what it means to be one fist, 5 fingers, one fist. So we can't get to a fist, a unit, if we have these splintered personalities who have these insecurities that they can't get over.
And that's the thing
their insecurities.
It also makes it difficult too, I believe, because you're bringing people
He's
in
still
from
in that mode.
Guys, a couple guys that were here, a couple guys from there, one here, one that you've got guys coming in at different times. So it's been
how many of y'all
to
would
get
love
that
to have
fist.
somebody who's already healed?
It's difficult, isn't it?
It's a lot,
healed
and it's
man
not
or a
going to
healed
happen
woman.
today, tomorrow, next day. You ready? It's not going to happen in the beginning of this basketball
Talking
season.
about healing these kids.
I got to know that, and I got to be willing to understand and be compassionate with it. It may take us to January, February, but if I ever let go of the rope before that, I know what that means. And it's not about wins and losses. It's about winning or learning.
All right, I want to ask you this. We've talked a lot about Danny Manning, Nolan Smith, Josh Jameson. We've talked a lot about you as the head coach. You said in your very first interview that you were going to put together the very best staff from top to bottom that you could possibly do. Tell us what you think about how you did that and what else that you did with Adam Petway as the director, Stephanie Davis, Josh. You've got guys, Justin Perez, guys, Milt Wagner, Reese Gaines, guys that and women that you brought in and put together as a staff. Is it what you wanted?
It's exactly what I wanted. Now, there are pieces of it that I need them to understand that this isn't about our success. Your lives have been examples of what the best of the best, each and every one of them. How do we get that to make that about these
Drew's
kids?
just on that because that's what the people
challenge.
are on.
I want every person that's a part of this staff to help these kids in every facet of their life to be better. If we can take great people who have accomplished great things and make them help these kids, we've hit a home run.
What about Adam? Adam Petway, that you wanted as a strength coach? That is one of the most important positions because that person is with the team almost as much, maybe more than the coaches, a little bit at times.
At times. It's funny, I never really told anybody.
Together as a staff. Is it what you wanted?
It's exactly what I want.
Sorry, I went back a little too far.
Now, there are pieces of it that I need them to understand that this isn't about our success. Your lives have been
not about our success.
Examples of what the best of the best, each and every one of them. How do we get that to make that about these kids? That's the challenge. I want every person that's a part of this staff to help these kids in every facet of their life to be better. If we can take great people who have accomplished great things and make them help these kids, we've hit a home run.
What about Adam? Adam Petway, that you wanted as a strength coach? That is one of the most important positions because that person is with the team almost as much, maybe more than the coaches, a little bit at times?
At times. It's funny, I never really told anybody this. When I got the job, even before I got the job, one of the things I always believed in, the people that understand movement, that understand body, that understand flexibility, explosion, acceleration, have been the track and field people. And so I called up a friend who's the head track coach at the University of Texas, Edric Floriel. I called a guy that was at Oregon, Robert Johnson. Give me 6 names of the best movement guys that you can think of that can help me help basketball players.
Y'all listen?
The funny thing about both of those guys, I was at Oregon with Robert Johnson.
Did y'all listen?
It's funny, I never really told anybody this.
I never told a story.
When I got the job, even before I got the job, one of the things I always believed in, the people that understand movement, that understand body, that understand flexibility, explosion, acceleration, have been the track and field people. And so I called up a friend who's the head track coach at the University of Texas, Edric Floriel. I called a guy that was at Oregon, Robert Johnson. Give me 6 names of the best movement guys that you can think of that can help me help basketball players. The funny thing about both of those guys, I was at Oregon with Robert Johnson, and I made him train my basketball players.
Oh, wow.
At Kentucky with Edric Floriel, he would come over and I would give him golf clubs or buy him golf clubs to train the basketball players. They understood what I wanted, what I needed. And at Kentucky with Edric Floriel, the explosion, acceleration, have been the track and field people.
Listen to how fucking.
And so I called up a friend who's the head track coach at the University of Texas, Edric Floriel. I called a guy that was at Oregon, Robert Johnson. Give me 6 names.
Great point, Marcus Smith.
Of the best movement guys that you can think of that can help me help basketball players. The funny thing about both of those guys, I was at Oregon with Robert Johnson, and I made him train my basketball players.
Oh, wow.
At Kentucky with Edric Floriel, he would come over and I would give him golf clubs or buy him golf clubs to train the basketball players. They understood what I wanted, what I needed. And to a man, each guy, Robert gave me 6 names. Edric gave me 6 names. There was one name that was on there.
Really?
And that was Adam Petway.
And have you been pleased with what you've seen?
Very pleased, very knowledgeable about movement, very knowledgeable about how the body functions. He's been great.
Are the guys different?
The guys are different. And, it's hard for them to know that because I'm pushing them. For me, every single thing that we do when they're in the weight room, when they're in conditioning, when they're on the court doing individuals, when we're practicing, I want them to borderline break. Every single thing they're doing, we're pushing them to beyond what they think they can go.
Coach Drew Diener's on the stage.
Good to meet you. Without actually meeting you, Coach Payne. Drew Diener here. It's Rebecca.
How you doing, Drew? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Tell us about the team. I think fans are kind of curious, like what kind of. I know when you were hired, you said I don't have a philosophy. I'll look at my players and make them play the best. What kind of team are we going to see on the court this year in terms of style of play? Because you're obviously front loaded in the front court and not as loaded in the back court.
Well, hopefully, the one thing that I come back to is the defensive end of the floor. We should be a very good defensive team. We have length, we have athleticism, we have versatile guys that can guard 2, 1 through 4, 2 through 5, 1 through 5. That should be the staple of how we try to win games. On the other end of the floor, we are long, we are athletic again. We have versatile players, especially in the front court.
Too many trades.
And we should be unique in the fact that we can have multiple guys post up. We will be very big. But for me, the biggest thing is the best offensive teams, Drew, are the best passing teams. I want these guys to be able to attack, to pass the ball to each other, to move the ball, to space the floor, to create offense off each other. Another way of saying what I'm trying to say is I want you to read and react so that it doesn't always have to be a set play, if that makes sense.
Sure. I think a lot of fans look at the the backcourt and say, gosh, there's not enough guys to handle the ball. Is there anybody maybe that we've not thought of as somebody who can handle the ball? There's maybe a small four, that kind of thing, or that is better at that than people are giving them credit for before they see them play a game?
Well, I think when you talk about Jalen Withers, he's capable of handling the ball. I think when you talk about Kamari Lands, capable of handling the ball. Those are two guys that jump off. Mike James, before it's all said and done,
and
will be
Mike
a better
James.
ball handler. I have a unique group of kids. I'm not saying that they're perfect yet. Again, I'm trying to get them to develop.
Just last one from here. For me, it seems like, when you've talked about this rivalry, it's almost like Louisville fans want you to hate Kentucky so much more than you do. And that's how the rivalry has to be. You've been on both sides of this rivalry. Do you have to hate your arch rival?
No, I don't. I want to win every game. I think if I was to give you a cheat sheet into John Calipari, he doesn't hate Louisville. And in his mind, he's had success against Louisville because of that. That's an example of the things that I want to do. I don't want it to be a hatred.
In his mind,
Kentucky has been great to me.
He said
is it a rivalry? Of course, it's one of the best rivalry, if it isn't the best rivalry in all of college basketball. So that's going to be there. I would like for it to be respectful, but I would like for both programs to know that we both can cheer for each other or respect each other and both have success and it benefits the whole state of Kentucky. That's what I'm really more about.
But Drury does look better in red and black than he does in blue, don't you, Coach? You do.
I look a little better. That's all.
Coach, you mentioned Mike James. I'll never forget the day before he was injured last year. I was at practice, and I thought he might be the best player on the floor.
Yeah.
How has he? Is everything all good to go? First of all, because that's a long recovery, and how has he been in preseason?
His spirit has been unbelievable. I'm more about spirit. I'm more about chemistry. I'm more about character. His want to is unbelievable. He's the type of kid you put him on the floor and you don't worry about a position. You're handicapping him by saying he's a position. He's more than that.
Y'all
he can
hear
defend,
that?
He can score, he can post, he can
He's
drive.
not a position.
He's emotional. He's all about his teammates. He is the consummate winner for this program. And I love him because of that, because I want guys that believe in team. I want guys that they may not understand what it is, but it's something about them that's about the team. He's a giver. He's a giver.
You keep going back and mentioning, and I know everything else means so much. You announced 3 captains. When in May, you said, I got to find guys that are leaders. I got to find the guys that want to help this. 3 of them. That's saying a lot about those 3 guys. Is it not coming from you?
He didn't overcomplicate this either.
What it says is that, and I'll just be honest with you and tell you what happened. I brought them in the office, the 3 of them, and I said, guys, what a great example it would be if you 3 are the captains after what you went through the year before. I'm giving you this opportunity. I'm putting it on your shoulders. Now, if the other guys aren't bringing it, I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming you.
It's your fault.
Your job as a leader is to make sure this team stays connected, that guys don't drift off and do their own thing. I'm giving you this responsibility. It's a big responsibility. It means that you got to get out of your way and be about team. And they've embraced that. Each and every one of them have embraced that. And I'm happy. And I want it to be I would love for this program to
It's a
turn
great
around
interview.
quickly. And if it does, I would love for those three who went through what they went through in the past be the catalyst for that.
And they have that.
I would
not
love
only
for
off
it to
the
turn
floor, but
around
on the floor
quickly. And
potential,
if it
don't
Yes,
does,
they
I mean,
do.
because those
Yes,
three
they do.
guys are so good at what they do in the way you will use them, right?
Yes. And I'm pushing them to be better.
With one thing that's interesting that I find interesting is everybody talks about, okay, who's the guard? Who's the ball handler? You've been asked it a gazillion times, and you will today a million more.
Yeah.
You mentioned Mike James. Don't mention position. A lot of guys on your roster are like that, are they not? And is that kind of what the vision is as far as big picture and recruiting and all that? You like guys like that, right?
I love versatile basketball players. I love
Jocelyn,
guys that
that's
are good,
wisdom.
that's coming off the ball screen, that can create offense and score for themselves. But I love guys that,
That's what
regardless of
wisdom
position,
sounds like.
can go in the post and score. I love guys that can facilitate a basketball game, meaning that they can create offense for their teammates. Basically, what I'm saying is I want versatile players that are about team. If it means I got to score 20, I go get 20. If it means I got to get 7 assists, 8 assists, I go get 8 assists. If that means I got to go rebound, I'll go rebound. Those are the players that, in a perfect world, in a perfect
they
situation,
win and they get paid in the league.
as fans and you as
Do
evaluators
everything
of teams,
players
you look at,
go to the NBA.
is it a good shooting team? Is it a good passing team? Does this guy does these things? I'm saying I want guys
agree,
that
Chris.
are all about team that can do a little bit of everything.
And that's who gets
Two specific
paid.
guys, and then I'll let you go on your way. Kamari Lands, I don't know that people really realize how talented of a basketball player he is. How's the transition for him been as far as into college life? And he's been around. He was one of the earlier guys that got on campus.
Yeah, Kamari is a very talented player. He has learned the best thing for him is that he met Kenny Payne.
I shouldn't have made a joke. Kenny Payne said the best thing for Kamari Lands is he met Kenny Payne. I knew what he meant, and I made a joke saying that's what a pimp would say. The best thing that happened to you, baby, was you met me. I thought it was funny at the time, and I'm like, I shouldn't have said that. That was not a funny joke. So, sorry. It was still funny, and the comment was funny, but I should know better than to even make that joke. So, yeah, I wish I hadn't made that joke.
And I say that,
and he's been around. He was one of the earlier guys that got on campus.
Yeah, Kamari is a very talented player. He has learned.
I thought it was funny.
The best thing for him is that he met Kenny Payne, and I say that to say I know how good he is.
I know what he's saying.
I want more. I want him to. I'm not evaluating him based on what a freshman should be.
Yes.
If he's a freshman, we're in trouble. I need him to be a sophomore or junior playing as a freshman. I need his mentality to be there. I need him to give more. Something probably that he has never done in his life is come out the comfort zone. He's been able to stay in his comfort zone, and that's been good enough. I'm saying in order for us to win and win on a big scale, I need you to come out of that comfort zone. Don't live in that comfort zone. Be in the uncomfortable zone, but be comfortable being in it.
I like the sound of that.
He's on him.
He's super talented.
He is talented.
All right, Hershey Miller. I mean, it's not your typical walk-on, so to speak. How's he been? And he's been to a couple places, and I think without that injury, things probably are different in his career.
First of all, he's not a walk-on. He's on scholarship here. And I've never looked at him as a walk-on candidate, even though I'm going to say this.
Because he's not a walk-on
Every
type
player
of player.
is a scholarship athlete, and I make a
He
point
won a
of saying,
state championship
if
with
you got a
Chet
jersey
Holmgren.
on your back, guys, you better pour your heart into this because I got no problem with throwing you in the game with 2 minutes to go, win or lose. You got a jersey on
I
your
need
back.
some out of all my players.
So prepare for that. Hersey Miller is a hardworking, high-character guard who great defensively, tough-minded defensively, gives me every single day all he has, and he has gotten better. I need him to get more better. I need him to step out more.
I need more out of Hersey.
And for a couple of reasons. The main reason is for him to grow.
Mm-hmm.
The other reason is I want their pressure on Fabio. I want
and
the
put
best teams. There's competition everywhere.
But he said Fabio
just
because he
shouldn't come
knows
from me.
Fabio has a
It should
higher
come
ceiling.
from, if I don't bring it, this guy got it. If he don't bring it, this guy got it. I need that competition. So I'm putting pressure on him and talking about it. Hersey, help me put Fabio on this bench. Make him come out. Make him focus. Make him better. Make him know that he is not going to play basketball comfortable. And he's done a good job of that.
Well, Coach, it's all going to start here real fast. Today's media day. Next week, fun time. Louisville Live. Are you excited? Because yes, it's about it's a big part about recruiting. It's a big part about basketball. But it's also an opportunity for the fans to see you first, to see this team. There's so many new faces. Your thoughts, and you got to be excited for it.
I'm very excited. When I took this job at the press conference, you may remember me saying, "I need you." Mm-hmm. Here's a first example of
Louisville Live. Let's show out.
I need the Louisville community to come out and support. Come out and support these kids. Come out and support my program, the women's program, and show people that we're passionate about this basketball program, both programs. I really do need that.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning, and Drew, I'm going to kick it back to you. Coach has got a few more things to do. He's got Kenny Klein right next to him though, so he's not going to. He's not going to. You're good, right?
I'm good. Kenny's right next to me as he should be.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, thank
It's
you,
awesome.
Coach Payne.
It's fucking awesome.
Wow, get that man to a mic.
It's awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. That was awesome. Listen, if y'all like the 10:30 time, let me know by hitting the like button and the subscribe button and the notification button. And you can support the channel. Support the channel any kind of way you want. I loved it. It's great information, it's great material. And anybody who listens to that stuff and finds a way to be a hater, I'm gonna have a problem with. It's not personal, so I'm not mad at whatever hater y'all can put in front of me. I don't send trolls at anybody. I don't care what they do. I got my opinion on things. Listen, much success to all my coworkers and my opponent coworkers. I don't care what they do, but I have an opinion about the success of the program. Listen, even though sometimes the success of the program costs me money, I sacrifice my own money for the good of the program. Y'all know that. I know that. And I don't like people who try to put themselves in front of the program. It makes me sick to my stomach. But that's just like, I'm different. I got to deal with that. Early starts mean early finishes. Thank y'all. Enjoy yourselves. Get some sleep. Enjoy yourselves. I will see y'all in the morning or tomorrow night. If I don't start an early show, y'all still got to hang out with me and stay up late. Don't just bully me into starting early every time. My God. Because we can't.